Discussions may take us a little bit of time. I understand that you're doing your job to ask me to say more than I'm going to say, and you have to understand that I'm doing my job to say we're not going to discuss this with the press, and as long as the discussions are ongoing.
Can you tell us whether Chancellor Jones has objected to the requirement that he offer a public apology?
As I just said, we're not going to discuss the discussions as the discussions are ongoing. I also know that Chancellor Jones has said the same thing today. We're in agreement on this. We've been in agreement on that statement for several days now, and I appreciate your persistence. And you can ask me again, and I'm still going to give you the same answer.
Well, I guess one of the things I will say, we haven't had a statement from the IHL saying there are continued negotiations. Are there, in fact, negotiations occurring?
We have discussions ongoing.
The statement from the board today, is that a result of what we've heard in the press the last couple of days? Clearly, someone's been talking to the media.
As long as we are in discussions, I'm not going to speak to anything other than the fact that we are having discussions, and I think that that sums it up.
Are those conversations directly with Dan Jones?
Can you tell us why the board is considering reversing its previous decision?
Has everybody got the actuality and the soundbite of me saying, as long as we're in discussions, we're not going to discuss anything regarding the discussions?
Can I ask you something else? In terms of coming on the board, just coming on and taking over and having to confront an issue of this magnitude, how are you feeling about that?
We have discussions that are ongoing, and as long as those discussions are ongoing, we're not going to be talking to the media. I appreciate it. I understand the question, and
will discussions be going on through the weekend?
As I said a minute ago, as long as we're discussing it, we're not going to be talking about it. It may take us a little bit of time.
But this is about Dan Jones.
As long as there are discussions taking place, we're going to continue those discussions without talking about it publicly.
So we can assume this is about Dan Jones, because you're not saying directly that it's about Chancellor Jones.
I've answered your question.